everyone, welcome into my new viewers and welcome back to my Serendipity Subbies. Today is August 29th, 2022, and I would like to bring you this day in history. Hurricane Katrina makes landfall near New Orleans, Louisiana as a Category 3 hurricane on August 29, 2005. Despite being only most powerful storm in the most powerful storm of 2005, hurricane season Katrina among the worst national disasters in history of the United States. In the wake of the storm, there were over 50 failures of levees and floodwalls around New Orleans and its suburbs. The levees and flood walls failure caused widespread flooding. After briefly coming ashore in southern Florida on August 25th as a Category 1 hurricane, Katrina gained strength before slamming into the Gulf Coast on August 29th. In addition to bringing devastation to the New Orleans area, the hurricane caused damage along the coast of Mississippi and Alabama, as well as other parts of Louisiana. New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin ordered the mandatory evacuation of the city on August 28th when Katrina briefly achieved Category 5 status, and the National Weather Service predicted devastating damage to the area, but an estimated 150,000 people who either did not want to or did not have resources to leave ignored the order and stayed behind. The storm brought sustained winds of 145 miles an hour, which cut power lines and destroyed homes, even turned cars into projectile missiles. Katrina caused a record storm surges all along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. The surges overwhelmed the levees and that protected New Orleans, located at 6 feet below sea level, from Lake Pontchartrain, Pontchartrain, I tried, and the Mississippi River. Soon 80% of the city was flooded up to the rooftops of many homes and small buildings. Tens of thousands of people sought shelter in the New Orleans Convention Center and the Louisiana Superdome. The situation in both places quickly deteriorated as food and water ran low and conditions became unsanitary. Frustration mounted as it took up to 2 days for a full-scale relief effort to begin. In the meantime, the stranded residents suffered from heat, hunger, and a lack of medical care. Reports of looting, rape, and even murder began to surface as news networks broadcasted scenes from the devastated city to the world. It became obvious that a vast majority of the victims were African American and poor, leading to difficult questions among the public about the state of racial equality in the United States. The federal government and President George W. Bush were roundly criticized for what was perceived as their slow response to the disaster. The head of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, Michael Brown, resigned amid the ensuing controversy. Finally, on September 1st, tens of thousands of people staying in the damaged Superdome and Convention Center began to be moved to the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, and another mandatory evacuation order was issued for the city. In the next day, military convoys arrived with supplies, and National Guard was brought in to bring a halt to the lawlessness. Efforts began to collect and identify corpses. On September 6th, 8 days after the hurricane, the Army Corps of Engineers finally completed temporary repairs to 3 major holes in the New Orleans levee system and were able to begin pumping water out of the city. In all, it is believed that the hurricane caused more than 1,800 deaths and up to $150 billion in damages to both private and public infrastructures. 1 million people were displaced by the disaster, a phenomenon unseen in the United States since the Great Depression. 400,000 people lost their jobs as a result of the disaster. Offers of international aid poured in from around the world, even from poor countries like Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. Private donations from U.S. citizens alone approached $600 million. The storm also set off 36 tornadoes in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, resulting in 1 death. President Bush declared September 16th a National Day of Remembrance for the victims of Hurricane Katrina. In 2006, federal report, the U.S. Corps of Engineers admitted that the flood control complex surrounding New Orleans had been incomplete, insufficient, and inappropriately maintained. The hurricane protection system in New Orleans and southeast Louisiana was a system in name only, said the report. I want to thank you for watching today. I hope you all have a blessed day, and remember to smile because I love you, but more importantly, God loves you. And remember that I'm going live every Saturday evening between 5 and 6 p.m. Central Standard Time Zone. I would like you to come on over and watch our lives. You never know what's going to take place in our lives, and I usually have my oldest daughter. There are maybe some surprises, so come on over, and if you haven't subscribed, what do you think about subscribing today? All right, I'll see you in my next video. Bye, everybody.